Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Bill Mahari here, represent Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Much love to the entire LDBC and the entire basketball community. You understand what I'm saying? Um, we're gonna skip the pleasantries there, so we're gonna get down to it there, you guys. You know, today the Milwaukee Bucks avoid the sweep, and without Giannis, who re-injured that ankle again, Khris Middleton stepped up to the plate and carried the Milwaukee Bucks to victory. Um, Pretty much the entire game. He played 48 minutes. He scored 36 points, and including 9 points in the overtime period. And he would pretty much hit that big 3 pointer in during with about 10 seconds to go in regulation. I'm sorry, not in regulation, but in OT to pretty much seal the victory. You understand what I'm saying? And doing that despite the fact that they did not have Giannis, after he left the game by basically re-injuring the ankle once again. And I'm going to get to Giannis's status in just a moment here. But today the Milwaukee Bucks, showed me something that we've been waiting to see since the series began. We've been waiting to see them, overcome adversity and try to, ride, their two horses, to the finish line. And unfortunately, you know, Giannis wasn't able to do it today because of the injury, and it came down to Khris Middleton. And the history on Khris Middleton that he would have some good games, but he was inconsistent and did not show up when the Bucks needed him the most during postseason time. Well, today that wasn't the case. Like I said, he pretty much scored 36 points, including 21 in the third quarter of play, to pretty much kept the Bucks, in the game during that period of time. And so he came up huge. He did what he had to do, and the Milwaukee Bucks survived another day. But the problem with this is that coming back from an 0-3 deficit is very, very difficult in basketball. It's kind of happened in other sports, but in basketball it's hard because you're asking to beat a team 4 times in a row, and that's very, very difficult. And so right now for the Bucks, you better hope that Giannis is going to be healthy enough to pretty much play. Now, I did check up on the status. Now, according to Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, he tried to return to the game, but he couldn't plant or drop off his foot, off his right ankle, right? But around the Bucks organization, you know, they didn't make him come back into the game because of how severe the injury was, but they have not ruled him out for Game 5 on Tuesday. So we don't know if he will play Tuesday night for Game 5. We will have to wait and see over the next 48 hours what the situation will be. But salute to the Bucks. They did what they had to do and survive another day. But it wasn't easy though, because the thing with Miami is this: Miami is so balanced in terms of their offense. You don't always expect you know the guys like Bam Adebayo or Jimmy Butler to contribute a lot of the scoring. Today they had other guys doing it. Bam Adebayo was being playing like a beast out there. Understand what I'm saying? And then Mr. Achuro, he stepped up in a big way, hitting big threes in the fourth quarter and overtime to pretty much keep the Heat in the game. I mean, everything he took, he was hitting them. You know what I mean? And without the contributions basically of Mr. Tyler Chiro, who's stepped up, who stepped up hitting 3 big threes, including the one during regulation that gave the Heat the 1 point lead before Dante DiVincenzo tied the game with hitting 1 out of 2 free throws. It would have been a totally different ball game. You know what I'm saying? But Bam Adebayo is a beast, bro. I mean, his ability to play on the inside, play the pick and roll, and just he always in constant movement when he's playing out there, and it's so difficult to deal with that. And the other thing too is that because of his relentless activity, he's a very, very difficult assignment to deal with. And so right now, if you're the Heat right now, even though you lost this game, you have to feel confident that, listen, the the Bucks had to spend all of that energy to try, to avoid the sweep. Now you're gonna come. Now you basically can know now that you're going to have to really earn to win the game on earn the victory on Tuesday. So I expect the Heat not to change much of what they did. Just continue continued with the excellent ball movement. Basically doing movement without the ball, and continuously get those good open looks. But for the Milwaukee Bucks, the pressure's on the Bucks to win another game. You know what I'm saying? The Heat know they're playing for house money at this point. All right, because they know if they lose Game 5, you got another chance to close it out in Game 6. You know what I mean? It's the Bucks that have to play perfect basketball just to come back and try to win the entire series. Like I said, there's only about three teams in NBA history to come back from an 0-3 deficit to force Game 7s, and I remember two. I remember the '94 Nuggets, in the against the Utah Jazz, and then the 0-3 Portland Trailblazers against the Dallas Mavericks. Both of those teams, the Nuggets and the Blazers, they were down 0-3, and they came back to force Game 7s. But the point is that coming back from an 0-3 deficit would just be too mentally draining, especially for the team that has to come back down 3 games to none. And so the pressure has to continue on the Bucks, and they better hope that whatever the condition of the right ankle of Giannis's is, that it'll be healthy enough for him to come back, and play in Game 5. The one thing that I'd be concerned about for Giannis is that you hope that the ankle does not endanger him a lot, because the concern it would be is that the tendons on that ankle would get wrecked, and it would really affect his career down the line. Just look what happened to Grant Hill when he broke his ankle in 2000. But you just hope that that Giannis doesn't have to feel like he has to carry the entire team on his shoulders, and that his teammates like Eric Bledsoe, Khris Middleton and Brook Lopez, they stepped up and made big plays when they had to win the game. And you just hope that they would do the same in Game 5, with Giannis very much limited to what he can do, barring if he plays on Tuesday. So we have to wait in the next 48 hours to see what happens. But I'm gonna go back and get ready to watch the Rockets and Lakers, man. But that's just pretty much my 2 cents on the situation. Salute to Khris Middleton. He did what he had to do, and the Bucks pretty much survived elimination. So, but tell me what you guys think in the comment section.